Action.
On the spot.
So any student who is 2 years within their high school graduation year and is registered for more than 6 credits is required to live on campus. Students can live on campus even if they fall outside of that live-on requirement, but those would be the students that are required to live on.
There's a lot of data and research that shows us in higher ed in general that your opportunities for success and graduation are greater when you live on campus and you make those connections.
While we do have singles available for accommodations for those that might need them for a disability, that's not the traditional housing assignment. Doubles are the traditional housing assignment. When you apply for housing, there's the first section that you complete that includes your profile, answering some basic questions about where you want to live on campus and things like that. But in early February, that's when the second part of the housing application opens, and that's where you can select a roommate.
Yes, you definitely don't have to have your college search process figured out by the fall of your senior year. Got plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
Log into MyState and go to the university housing application. We do ask that prior to going to the university housing application, it's best to activate your JAX email account, which can also be done through your MyState dashboard.
So activating your JAX email, I think a lot of students are a little hesitant to do that because they're not sure they're coming to SDSU again. Through all the steps and anytime you work with admissions, keep that in mind that we know this is just part of your search. Activating your JAX email is the way we're going to communicate with you, not solely, but we're going to start to utilize that.
New students that are coming to join us this fall can apply in October. That application remains open throughout the summer because sometimes students make decisions a little bit later, right? Starting around the beginning of February is when they can start selecting a preferred roommate.
You will pay a housing application fee of $75 for new students when you check in at the beginning of the fall semester or spring semester. $65 of that is refundable as HOBODO, but you will pay the $75 in your application.
It is something that you do want to pay when you submit. So that is what submits your application. And if you decide not to attend SDSU, then we refund that fully by the end of May.
Some of the questions we ask students are, your cleanliness, how you like your room, what temperatures, do you study in your room, do you play games, when do you go to sleep, things like that. So we ask students in their application to set up this profile, which is what we use to match roommates on. So we ask that it's filled out accurately the best that you can, and we'll match you with somebody based on that profile as close as we can. Or if you come in potentially with a person in mind, you can also request them in your application by creating a roommate group and adding that person to your group.
We have a handful of different living learning communities. Some are affinity-based, where folks have a value or collective idea that brings them together. So for example, our quiet lifestyles, those students are all committed to a quieter community that allows them to focus and be successful in that manner. But we also have our academic living learning communities. Those are usually connected to a major or to a profession. So we have, for example, our health professions or our engineering living learning communities.
And that's part of what makes that roommate compatibility search process so great, especially if you select a living learning community. You're going to be living on the same floor with someone who's maybe within your same major, has some of those same interests as you do. Within that roommate compatibility search process, you're able to select some of those interests as well. So you're going to be able to see some of those answers, and you're going to be able to live with someone who has a very similar schedule to you, might have some of the same interests as well. Yes, so really, towards the last week of May, first week of June, right after you graduate from high school, you'll receive an email to your JAX email with your housing assignment. That'll have your hall assignment, your room number, as well as your roommate information. And it'll have your roommate's contact information, so you can start reaching out to them and decide who's going to bring the futon, who's going to bring the mini fridge, and all those important things.
I think SDSU does a really great job at putting a huge focus on a number of things, but feeling welcomed and feeling safe are going to be two really big elements that will play into that experience, that overall experience. Not just living on campus, but your experience with your roommate. That's our goal, at least, is that we have people in place and resources in place and processes so that you are feeling welcomed at all times, and you are feeling safe at all times, and you're building that community within a community. You want to throw something together? By the way, this is my idea, but you're going to speak.
not everybody is a morning worm, whatever, early bird. Not everybody is an early bird. Cut that part. Don't include that part.
So what's the importance of having an activated Jax email and password for this process?
Pretty important. Pretty important. We're going to want you to do that right away.
We send a comment that. I was like, where are you going with this? No.
Start over. Take two.